All right, we're just going to wait for Sarah to get here and put a little tune on and allow people to come in and share. I see you, Sarah. I'll pull you up right after the intro. Got a little soul speak on the ascension that we all share, this unveiling, this apocalypse. You know, all this discussion of what is reality, conspiracy, heresy, truth that's stranger than fiction. Doesn't get any better than this. It's not just time to bring on the apocalypse, it's time to start riding it. It's not going to hurt us. Because one thing's for sure, in our conscious mind and even in our subconscious, if that's what you want to call it, we have always survived. And the reason for that is because we never die. So when it comes to ascension, what else is there to talk about? This ascension, unveiling, is not complicated. It's just a microcosm of the state of our being from any point, from this present moment to any point in our past. And in regard to the past, now we can look back to see, to awaken without the element of linear time. Yeah. Because the wisdom still comes, because the universe is never late. That means we can take from our past the powerful wisdom of the eternal moments, seen when we unveil the hurts and the blame given and received. You know, we've reached a point where forgiveness will cease to exist. Because perfection did not create forgiveness, but as a path to a higher perfection, a new reflection of itself, of ourselves. Yeah, it's true. It's just not necessary forgiveness, and neither is earth love. So we can stop chasing both right now and all the false securities and failed searches that go with the lofty goals of a moral world. Both the things that they put beyond our reach and the reasons they gave us for not being able to reach them. It time to re-enter the fold of the immortal, the fold of the I Am soul. What's the crack? Listen to Ian. What's the crack? Melissa Dehan in the Zoom room. Let's pull up Sarah.
Hey.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa, mi hermana?
How you doing?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I saw you holding a very big check for, I believe it was 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Is that right? 10,000 pounds?
Yeah.
And, that can only be a good thing. So you got to tell us, what was that for? What happened?
So that was kind of a perfect, beautiful manifestation of how I always say the buffer is gone. I feel like we're living and there's no buffer anymore between our desires and what we hold vibrationally and what actually manifests in our reality. And that was a beautiful manifestation and a beautiful confirmation for me that what I tell people is true. I recently decided to reduce my hours in my day job, my office job, because it doesn't light me up, or it didn't light me up. And I decided, I'm going to step further into what it is I know I'm here to do. And I wrestled with the idea of doing it because I'm the sole breadwinner in our family. And I was like, I've got 2 little mouths to feed, and can I really do this? But I said no. And I just kept being guided, back yourself, back yourself. walk the talk. So I was like, okay. So I filled out the application to reduce my hours. About 2 days later, I found this thing came up in my Facebook feed of this. He's a big entrepreneur in the UK. Well, he's actually Greek Cypriot, but he's has a lot of business in the UK. He owns an airline, and every year he invests in disabled entrepreneurs, disabled people who are setting up their own business. So I was like, okay, I'll fill this out for the crack, which Sinead and I have just decided that for the crack is a perfectly legitimate reason for doing all things awesome now. Don't need any more reason than for the crack. So I filled out the form and thought nothing more of it. Just let it go. Filled it out. Just said, this is who I am. This is what I've done so far, and this is my vision for the future. This is what I want to achieve in the world. And about 2 weeks after I'd filled out the application to reduce my hours, I got a phone call to say, yeah, you've made it to the top 5, and you're guaranteed a minimum investment of £10,000. So it was beautiful confirmation from the universe that I was on the right path. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that, because if you do it, then energetically you've done something. You just described it.
Mm-hmm.
That means that others will be able to go through that door with more ease and grace.
That's it. And the money, I said, and I even, because I had to go through like an interview process because I had a chance of getting more investment. And the interview was the most beautiful experience, because we've all said about, and I even heard you talk a little bit about it, your corporate life and when you were on the corporate ladder, and how it's vastly different to your life now. But that for me again was like bridging the gap, because I was talking to this guy about heart activations, about creating your reality, and about releasing from fear, and about living your desires and manifesting and I was sitting talking to this multi-billionaire about how we're master of our own reality and we create our own reality, and he was receptive to it. Not only that, but he said that he has changed his outlook on life from having our conversation. So it just shows when you go with an open heart and no agenda whatsoever, the magic happens.
All right, that's the end of the show. I don't think you can top that. That's yeah. I mean, what can you say to that? And that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You inspire me. You inspire so many people. And it's I don't have to tell you this, because and I know most people have gone through a lot more than I've gone through. But regardless, our pain or traumas are all the same. They're proportionate to our life experience. And so in these moments such as today, when Todd's not feeling so good, it's nice to be able to talk to you or someone like Jim Kincaid, and to jump into the pool of this big soul soup that we're creating, and just give it your best shot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can come up with today.
I think collectively, dude, we're all feeling it, especially this week. There's a big hole in our hearts right now. But what's been beautiful for me, and it really, I've been to the depths this week. I really have, and I know you have too. But it really made me question. Yes, we know we're divine, and yes, we know there's a big plan, but damn, it hurts sometimes. And when it feels like people who we love plans are different to ours, it's like, shit, dude, I didn't see that coming, and like it blows a big hole in your heart. But then what's happened, and I know a lot of people, we've all come closer together, we've all pulled together in our pain, and we're all getting beautiful reflections and similar experiences. And again, these are people like connected at a heart level, at a soul level, but in all areas of the planet, and we're all having the same experiences with the same energies and the same, just the same magic, the same fairy dust. And we know it's real. It's not made up. It's real.
No, it's not. So I'm going to ask you, how have you, because you have, how have you done it? How do you combat fear? How do you deal with fear? Because I guess that's really, at the end of the day, the only thing holding any of us back.
Yeah. That's what I had to do a video for the process, for the selection, for the investment. And I said that the biggest disability, and it's not unique to me, it's not unique to anyone. It's a unanimous, everybody's got it. Biggest disability we all have is fear. It's got nothing to do with physical body, it's fear. That's the most debilitating thing in the world. And I guess, and today, or this week especially, I've been thrown right into the depths of the fear, the doubt, the blackness, the despair, right all over again. But I've called on everybody, both in this dimension and in all other dimensions, to hold me and give me signs. And as I said, I've had beautiful, beautiful experiences, beautiful conversations with people. And as I say, it's like the same experiences. We're all having the same beautiful Technicolor fairy dust experiences, that we know we're not alone. And when we're all having these things in sync right across the planet, then that's what pulls you out of the fear and helps you to breathe and know that it's going to be okay. And I think the biggest way to combat that is to actually speak and say, dude, I'm not okay, I'm struggling right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
that's
that opens.
Very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
A couple things. One, I remember when I was on the streets, that, God, we're talking about fear. I had two things going on in my head at the same time. I had to go back to it, but today when I got off the last show with Jim, because I woke up, I'm out of sorts. I'm still out of sorts. And anyway, I took a walk out here on this land. I just went for a walk out here. It's 42 acres, so there's plenty of room. And as I was coming back to the cabin, one of those things, I don't know why I looked, but I looked, and there's hundreds of trees here. I looked up in this one tree right by the house, and there was a big white bird. I mean, like, I've never seen this type of bird. I thought it was an owl, but it had a long beak. And I just looked at it, and I thought, God, it looked like a statue. It looked like it didn't belong there, And I just kept looking at it, and then I started to feel it. And again, these things don't always come in words. I mean, for me, they very rarely come in words. But so I guess I connected with it. I was staring at it, and I felt, what I felt was, one, we're here. We're watching over you. Hold on. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That high level comfort and peace thing came through. So those things are happening to us too, and as well as what we can get from each other. Yeah.
And just like that, I know when I got the news, and it was on Monday morning, just as I was about to go to work, and when I got the news about our dear sister passing over, I was like, the wheels came off. I just was completely derailed, did not know what to do, what to say, what to think. And I just crumbled in a ball of grief right there. And I was in the bathroom in my job, and she came to me with fairy wings, blue and purple fairy wings, right there in front of me going, and she was like, I'm trying to think now of the exact words. She was like, check out my fairy wings. They're legit fairy wings. You didn't think fairies were real, but look, I got my big ass fairy wings right here, right now. And I was like, okay, I got you. And every time I cry now, she comes to me and she says, they better not be tears of sadness, they better be tears of joy that we met, that we connected in this lifetime, and you better take that fire, take that magic, and make it count for both of us. So she inspired me with her magic and her art and her vibrance. And she has said to me very, very, very humbly that me doing my thing inspired her. And I guess that's the thing that I've really learned from my conversations with her and from the conversations we've had in the last few days, even. No matter what we do or no matter how small it is, just by being ourselves, and showing up and saying I'm not okay. Like I look up to you, dude, and you're saying to me that I inspire you. So for you to come online and say, you know what, I'm not feeling so good today, that gives me permission to come on and say, I've been struggling too. So together, if you inspire me and I inspire you, and individually we inspire a whole other group of people. So what kind of magic are we co-creating here? That we can say it's okay to be, and it's okay to know, and to know that we're divinity, and know that there is no birth, there is no death, there is no time, there is no, but it still hurts like hell sometimes, and that's okay too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say about the streets is I used to always run into my kid who was kind of with me, when I had a hotel room. He was 16 at the time. And every time I'd see him, he'd say, "How's it going?" I'm like, "How are you doing?" Because a bunch of stuff had happened.
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm great. I'm great. I'm doing fine. I'm good." And it wasn't until a few months went by when I said to myself, "I'm not good. I'm not
Yeah.
okay." So that's always been a big sign for me now. I don't do it so much anymore, but I do. And if, something comes up or someone asks me and I say, "I'm okay," I'll go, wait a minute. That's an old pattern. Are you okay? But yeah, I think that, yeah, it's okay not to be okay. And it's better for
Absolutely.
us to say, "I'm not okay,"
Hmm.
and try to work it out best we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then if you go, like I've gone into work the last few days completely derailed, completely not myself. I haven't been sleeping, haven't been eating properly, and as I say, the wheels are coming off big time. And I go into work and I say I'm feeling like shit right now. And then people who don't
Yeah.
even normally speak to me are sitting down and saying to me, "Okay, so what's happening?" They're really listening because I'm normally the one that's going, "Yeah, I'm good," and I'm always happy to be, if my body's alive, if I got breath, if I got, if I'm pain free, it's all good. Everything else is a bonus. But when they see me then going, actually, you know what, I need a bit of help right now, then they're listening properly, really being present with me. And then also it's opening them up to have a deeper level of conversation as well. So it's kind of like a burden, what do they say, a problem shared is a problem halved. And then you realize we're actually not, all of us are going through the same stuff, just in different clothes.
Yeah. True. Would you say we're all going through the same stuff with different clothes?
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
this. That was good. I like that. I was going to steal that if you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
and I think too. Yeah, this is what I said on the previous show, and I think I said it a couple of days ago. I looked at what occurred, with Sherilyn transitioning. So we were
Mm.
on the couch on Saturday night. I guess it happened on a Friday night, and we got a phone call from one of our friends, and I was kind of like, we stopped the show we were watching, and we both kind of did our own thing. But I walked out back, and I was like, okay, so I just connected with her, and it was integrated pretty quick. I could feel it. It was real. It was done.
Mm.
And then I was, later on, we didn't really talk about it. We didn't really talk about it, but it's there, right? And then you can see it out there in the field too.
Mm.
And I said to Morgan, like, why is this in our field? And I don't mean that like strictly on a personal level. We'd spent 2 weeks with her.
Mm.
Just it'd only been 2 weeks since we left, and had a great time and all that. And it was incredible stuff went down with the three of us. And but anyway, I was like, okay, why is this in our field at this time, with all the energies being what they are now? Like, what is the message? So I take a lot of comfort in what you're telling me occurred with you and her in the bathroom of all places.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Carolyn, don't come see me in the bathroom. But no, because not just because it's her, but because that little episode that you described, it captures the reality of it. It really does. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I can see it as you described it, and yeah, she's got wings. I got wings too. You got wings
Well,
too,
she
you
does,
know?
yeah, yeah. But
And,
I never believed in fairies. I wanted to because she did. And she made me believe that it was possible, but she's actually physically shown me right now that she's got her wings, and it's like, don't you dare cry, girl, because I got my fairy wings at long last, you know? And it's like,
yeah.
it's so her, and yeah.
Yeah, I had a cousin who was 8 months younger than me, and around 2014. I don't know. I've been off the streets for a year or so, and anyway, he passed, and so I went to the funeral, and I was talking to his partner, and his partner told me he was crying his eyes out, and he was telling me, "I got to tell you what happened. David came to see me in my dream, and he was with his mother who had already passed, and he said to me, there's something really big happening. Now this was in 2014. There's something really big happening on the earth. It's a huge event. It's a huge situation, and I'm over here on this side, working with the team. Working with the group.
Mhm.
So I kind of see it that way too.
Mhm.
Um, I know. We're the boots on the ground still,
Yeah,
but we've got plenty. We've not been forsaken. We're not alone, and there's no
no,
doubt about
not at
that.
all. And she, from the first moment I met her, okay, we never connected physically in person, but it was online. From the first moment I met her and saw her speak, she was never meant for this earth. Like,
No,
she's such a gentle, magical, she's fairy and she was never meant to be here for a long time. She was only here to help us see the beauty in life and to discover
yeah.
our own magic. And once we started to see it, she's like, okay, I can come on the other side and give you the final push.
Well, I'll tell you,
You
it was interesting too because I went back to her wall and I was looking for a video that she took at the soul gathering we had,
know?
and I saw a post that she put up during the time we were there, about 6 or 7 days after we'd gotten there, and it had to do with shadows. And so every night we would sit around and talk, and we just had a blast. And Morgan and her did a lot of energy work, and she cleared a lot of stuff, man. I mean, she was digging deep. The epiphanies were going off, the activations were going off, the coyotes were howling in the neighborhood. I mean, it was nice to know that this stuff was removed, these burdens were removed, and she was really finding liberation, to include even going out. Like, she never would leave the house,
Yeah.
and she had went out like 3 times in 5 days, and she's like, oh my God, I'm going out, I'm going everywhere. So that's nice, that's a nice thing too,
It's
to
beautiful.
be able to find greater peace, yeah, while you're
Yeah.
still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah, so it's painful. It's painful sometimes, whether it be that situation or day-to-day stuff, right? And I think there's like this. This seems to be like this. This is what was coming to me the last 2 days. That old saying. In fact, I was like trying to think of some, prolific meme or something. But basically, what I was getting was that old saying: if you say you can, if you say you can't,
It's
right?
it's it's right.
You're
Yeah.
you're you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I
Totally.
was adding, or the universe was adding something to it. It was like, okay, if you say you can, if you say you can't, you're right, and the universe always makes sure of that. So that what I was getting was basically we're at a point now where we can will things, we can free will things, we
Yeah.
can align
Yeah.
what you just demonstrated. What you just
Mm-hmm.
demonstrated,
Mm-hmm.
and what you were talking about at the top of the show,
Yeah.
that we can actually do this now, and
Yeah.
that the thoughts that we are have always suppressed us, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
in the way we designed it. But now we can actually, something's changed, and we can actually do the things that like what just happened to you.
Yeah.
That's why I said thank you, because that means somebody else, hopefully me. I'm
Yeah.
tired of being broke, and I'm tired of a lot of stuff, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna can do attitude and can do self-talk all I can, because I realize now that was a big transmission over the last couple of days, and things seem to be pointing that direction.
Absolutely.
So people doing stuff like you have done is contagious, and it's going to
Yeah.
continue.
Absolutely, and that was one of the things I said in my interview. It's not, this money is not about me. It's about what I can do in the lives I can change with this money. So this is just confirmation for me. Yes, you're on the right path. Yes, you're changing minds. Yes, you're opening hearts. Now go multiply it. Go big or go home. So it's not about me living like Rockefeller now. It's about me giving that magic to as many people as I can and creating something that's magical to light other people up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think too, part of the challenge right now is because the energies are increasing. We know that,
Mm-hmm.
and the truth frequency is expanding. So that means in each one of our journeys, which is a very personal journey, uh, we're being faced with truths, things that we didn't know about. There's a lot of stuff that's being recognized, and then we've got to do something with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
In addition to following our guidance, and I do Soulogy and you do your thing, and doing that, and washing clothes, and cooking,
Yeah.
all the stuff that you do normally. So it's, that's why I said on the last show, it's, we're the ones doing it. We have a lot of help, but they're not materialized here walking next to us.
No,
We're
that's
doing
it.
something very extraordinary. And I believe that what I said to Jim on the last show, I believe at this point, there's not a way. We're creating a way. This is a situation where the present is the present is the present. This is our reality, and we're actually creating a way. We're doing something along those lines, a new
Yeah.
blueprint or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, exactly. We're divine beings having human experience. I don't even actually really subscribe to the whole ascension thing anymore, because ascension feels to me like a destination, like a journey of somewhere to get to. This is it. This is the curtain call. This is a single act play. There's nowhere to get to. There's nowhere to be. It's about enjoying this right here, right now, because this is all we've got. The rest, whatever's coming, will take care of itself. We're here to experience here. We're now for now and for no other reason. This is all we've got.
That's
So
right.
let's go big
That's
or go
what,
home.
yeah. I asked myself the question, what if this is all you had, if this is the last day you had, what would you do?
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing an exercise in an old business book. It was a goal-oriented business book, and the guy said, I want you to make two lists. Make one list, what would you do if you had $1 million? And make another list, what would you do if you had 6 months to live? And you make these two lists, right? And it's along those lines. Like, and so like I'm here in the middle of nowhere. My car needs to get fixed. Can't go anywhere. Don't have any money. But if this is my last day, what would I do? I like doing what I'm doing right now. This would be one thing I do. Work with what you have, where you're at, with what you got.
Yeah, nobody ever sits on their deathbed and says, God, I wish I'd made more money, or I wish I'd spent more time working. They say, I wish I hadn't worried about that crap and enjoyed the breath that I had in my body. And it doesn't, and if you think about money, what does money give you? Money doesn't, it's not about the money. Like if you had £1 million sitting in the bank, you wouldn't leave it sitting in the bank, would you? You'd go and you'd spend it to have experience, to have feeling, to have joy. So what if you can have the joy without needing to spend the money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing
exactly.
this is a perfect example. We light each other up just by having a chat. It doesn't cost any money, It's
That's a big one too. Franco was on again a couple of days ago, and that came up, the whole money thing. And he said this before. He's got recollection and memories of other planetary experiences. Is one of the things he brings to the table. He doesn't talk about it much, but he said money's a funny thing because it doesn't it doesn't exist anywhere else. It's not been in any other planetary experiences he's had. And as he understands it, it doesn't, this is just a unique situation here. And obviously it's a big nut for everyone, especially people like us who are trying to align, a quality of life with our passion, but I do think that the universal energy is supporting us, all of us. I really do. I think it's supporting us, and dreams are coming true. I do.
And the important thing I just want to say on that, it's so important for me, when I let go of, when I said, okay, I want to feel like this. I want to have this life. I want to feel this way. I want to feel at peace. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel joy. And I let go of how that would look or how it would happen. Then I randomly was scrolling through Facebook and I found that application for that dude who wanted to invest in someone. That wasn't on my radar. It wasn't in my field before, but I was like, I want to feel this way. Universe, show me how I can maintain that vibration. And you leave, because I was a total control freak, that I wanted to do this in this amount of time and had to do it this way for this long. But once I let go of that and said, okay, I want to feel this way, universe, show me, bring me the people I need, bring me the circumstances I need to allow me to have this feeling, to maintain this vibration. That's where the magic is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think we've got a real opportunity, to actually materialize things in the physical reality like never before. And the cool thing is, to me, because I remember, people come on the show and I'll say, when did you wake up? And a lot of people say, I was born with this knowing, right? And I remember that knowing, to me as a little kid. I remember I love everybody. I love everything. It's like that was the knowing, and so what I was going to say is the cool thing is this alignment is actually brought into alignment or fueled by pure love. It is. It's pure love, because that encompasses so many things like bliss and happiness and all the things that go with it. But that's it. That's actually how alignment comes. And so that's kind of a cool thing, because it's not something we have to search really, really hard for. And if we have the desire to feel it, like you said, you want to feel it, that's how it starts.
Yeah. But I do have one caveat, and it was something you said on one of your other shows, and I was like, no, I was kind of disagreeing with you a little bit, because you said about when someone does something to you or something that kind of disturbs your inner peace, why would I go and challenge them on it, or why would I go and, what's the point of, shouting about it or saying anything? But I disagree with that, because my kid just ripped a big slice of wallpaper off my wall. I scolded him for it. I really scolded him for it. Doesn't mean I don't love him, but he knows not to rip the wallpaper again. I don't love him any less because he tore the wallpaper. But if I didn't say anything, then my house is going to be trashed before I know it. And now that creates a bigger problem. Yeah. So you can still love somebody and still know that they're part of you, they're a mirror of you. We're all one, but not be okay with shitty behavior. So it's like if you say I love myself enough to say that that's not okay. It's not charged. It's not vicious. It's not. There's no agenda. But I'm honoring myself, and I love you enough to say, don't do that to me again. Then you stop the cycle. It doesn't have to keep going. But it's never okay to dishonor yourself by not saying anything. And what does it do? You internalize it. It eats you up, gives you stomach acid, makes you ill. It's not okay.
Yeah. Resentment.
So it's exactly.
It's resentment.
Yeah.
And and it really is that resentment's at yourself, isn't it? And it is. Totally. It's kind of tricky. I think when I talk about that, what I usually that I remember what I say is there are times that I'll do that, but a lot of times I'm not balanced, so I don't do anything. But to your point, those things tend to pop back up until I do say something, right?
But you might not be balanced, but in your humanness, you're perfect. You're as balanced as you're meant to be in that moment, because you've presented that experience to yourself for a reason, to honor yourself and say that's not okay. So as long as you don't go on a rampage and start making it somebody else's problem who's got nothing to do with it, then you might not feel balanced, but you're perfect. And there is a subtle difference.
There is a difference.
If nature was constantly balanced, there would be no mountains, no volcanoes, no, sometimes the little bit of surge is necessary.
So that means the people that said bad things about me and lies and stuff and did conspiratorial things to me, I can call them up and rip their head off now, right?
Well, energetically you can do it. Just put it out there and say, I honor myself. I don't allow that to happen anymore, and the universe will take care of it. Because
I saw, the funny thing is I saw evidence of that method today, because that's really what I'll do. I'll pull them up. I'll have a conversation until I see them as myself, or however you want to put it. So I had a situation pop up that was very public, probably 3 months ago. And it was pretty public, but I didn't say anything. I just went into silent mode. And so a very good friend of, I still consider the person my friend, a very good friend of a mutual friend, posted something, and I saw that they were describing the same type of situation and their remedy and their approach, which was very cool because they were sharing it. It was a very real human kind of thing. But I know who they were talking about. And I was like, okay. But I didn't feel good about it. It wasn't like that. I just thought, okay. Like I don't know. I think social media is funny because it's interesting to watch people, and I've been guilty of it, project, in the form of self-righteousness, right? Or righteousness.
Yeah. Or for the good of the collective, I'm going to say this and project my stuff onto the collective consciousness. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I saw, and that reminds me, I saw another one yesterday. I had a show a while back, and it was with a very intriguing individual that got a lot of attention, and somebody was telling me to do, to have the show with this person, and I'm like, no, why, why? It wasn't like that cut and dry, but I was just like, you do it. Well, they were going to do it, I think is what it was. And they said, no, I don't want to do it. You do it. So anyway, I ended up doing it. And then I started to get messages during the show about the individual and things that they were doing, including pictures.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I'm like, oh man, this isn't good. I just, I did the show, I'm done. But then I saw the person that wanted me to do the show, that pawned it off on me. I saw them put up a post about the individual and didn't really say anything, but did say, hey, something's not right here. I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I guess what I'm saying is it's interesting. It says more about the person that's doing the writing or the talking when they're pointing out something that obviously they're not seeing in themselves. Basically.
Yeah,
it's interesting for me, myself too.
Yeah.
For myself
but
too,
The other thing is, well, trust your intuition. So if something was saying to you, no, I don't, this doesn't really, this isn't my jam, or this doesn't really align, and then listen to that and don't, trust yourself, and there are certain people online who I just cannot listen to, cannot watch. And it's not that I know they're me, I know we're all one, I know and I know their intentions are probably pure as anything, but I just don't resonate. So, but I don't go on a rampage and say, oh, this person's wrong, or this, it's just like, no, that's not my jam right now and I'm just not going to listen. I'm not going to make your life difficult, but I'm just not going to listen, or I'm not going to watch, or I'm not going to engage with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I
Yeah.
was trying to explain it to someone the other day, and I'm saying, like, I had a favourite jumper when I was 7 years old. I love that jumper. It doesn't fit me anymore, but I don't try to cram myself into it and annoy myself now at 37. It's like, yeah, okay, just leave that. But that's not me, and that's okay.
Yeah, and it's okay if you don't resonate with something.
Yeah.
And I have this happen. I have this happen, and people want to do certain things or whatever, and I, we've got a list of well over 100 people that want to come on the show, and whatever the situation is, and they'll unfriend me, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's okay. I take it in and I say, okay, do I have any resentment, or I work it out myself as many times as I need to. But what I'm getting at is, I think we're also moving into a state too where we can respect the lack of alignment or the lack of resonation. We don't have to get upset or take it personal.
Yeah, and I think that the unfriending or the stuff like that shows to me that there was agenda underneath it in the first place. That the intention wasn't necessarily pure to begin with. And then when it doesn't go the way you wanted it to, or you don't get the desired outcome, then that's agenda, and that's what makes you cut it off and say no. And that's not okay in my book. So actually, if somebody blocks me or unfriends me, actually it's done me a favor, because it's shown me agenda,
right.
and I'm not okay. I'm not okay with agenda. Like, I just talk to people because they make me feel good, or they excite me, or they inspire me. There's no agenda, and then
that's true. That's true. Yeah. And I go back to what we talked about earlier. We're actually working this out. We're going to figure this shift out. I mean, we're working this out. We're working out how to do it collectively. We are all on the team, and each one of us that creates a new pathway, like you did, with what happened with you, it creates a pathway, and that pathway can become a super highway, especially in this universal energy that's present, because it is quantum. It's beyond quantum. The way information's moving so fast, both in the physical, like on the internet, but also through the ethers. I mean, we're lighting this world up.
But
I've asked. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You finish what you were going to say. You've asked what?
No. Well, okay. So I'm going to kind of ask you a question anyway. That's why I've asked people, such as the Jasons and the Francos and the people that kind of get some intel of the forecast. What can you say to the people that have been busting their ass for 15 and 20 years? I'm not in that group. That have been downloading information for 15 and 20 years, that are coming out of hiding. They're tired, and it's worn on us a bit. How do you keep going? I mean, so that's kind of what I was going to ask you.
For me, it's not about. For me, I don't actually think I ever want to get it fully discovered, because for me, the journey is. The joy is in the discovery, and the joy is in the experimentation and the play. So if I knew everything, where's the fun? Where's the fun in the discovery? It's like as a child, if I said to my son, you can have every toy you ever want right now, what's the point in looking forward to Christmas? It's all for me, the fun. And again, it came through perfectly in my interview as well, because when the awards were finished and everything, and the guy was talking to me separately afterwards, and he said to me, "Oh, you were so close to winning the 30,000, which was the top prize." And I was like, "Oh, dude, don't tell me that. What's the point in telling me that? You might as well have said, oh, whatever, like, because so close, but no cigar. What's the point?" And he said, "No, the reason why I'm telling you that is because I know I very quickly connected with your energy, and I can see that if I give it to you all now, it's too easy, and there's too much. There will be overwhelm, and you wouldn't make it work. But by giving you a smaller amount that you can work really hard and multiply, then come back and tell me, I want the big one next time, then you've proved to yourself. And he read me like a book straight away, and that's it. So for me, the joy and the game and the whole point is the discovery. So I don't feel like I'm going anywhere. I'm just on this magical journey of discovery.
Yeah.
And I don't actually want to get to the end, because when I get to the end, then I don't need to be here anymore. And I'm quite enjoying being here. So I'm not ready for it to be over yet.
So the one of the morals to the story here that I'm getting about you is you are this extraordinary, self-aware, expanding, dedicated, devoted soul, and you still have your bad days.
Oh God, yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, but it's about knowing that I am not these experiences. And actually, that beautifully, if you don't mind, I'd love to do a meditation with you, if that's okay. I channel the meditation.
Yes.
I think it's pretty perfect for right now. Yeah, I think it's pretty perfect for right now, actually. I didn't know why I was bringing this, but now I do. So if you want to just relax, I don't know if you are a close your eyes type of person or not, but just chill out and have a listen. Okay.
Right.
Divine child of light, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. I am you. Long before you walked this path, I knew you. Every breath, every move, every thought is perfect in its design. You are perfect. You are playing your role to perfection, the role only you can play. There are no rules, no right, no wrong. There is no should and no must. You are beautiful and unique, a unique verse in the poetry of the universe. You are beyond compare. The experiences you've chosen on this path are merely a moment in time. Like a meal to your palate, some delicious, some bland, but none forever. No experience can diminish the light that you are. Any perception of such is just a call to remember the truth. You are the stars, you are the sky, you are the sun and the moon. The perfection of the design of all creation is the same vibrant force that created you. The beauty of nature shines from your eyes, in your smile and through your words. You are perfect, whole and complete. We are one.
Did you write that?
I channeled it. I can't take.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's incredible.
I can't take credit for it, but
yeah, it's an open source universe. Everything's available to everybody, right?
yeah.
But that's a beautiful share. Yeah, that really is. It makes me feel the child, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's important. That's important. Yeah. Well, I think it's important because that's that curiosity, you know, that I don't know what the word is, you know, but whatever that is that keeps us attuned to that voice and has us doing all these things that are stepping out of society's box, defying the supposed norm, but it speaks to that childlike wonder.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's it. That would be my message to the world. Live like a child, laugh like a child, love like a child, and see like a child, and you won't put a foot wrong.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's true too. You know, and that's been talking to Jim on the last show too. Not taking things so seriously. I mean, you know, that's why the humor is important. But even when your humor's off the wall, like Jim's. No, I'm kidding.
He's awesome. I just love that dude.
I know.
Yeah.
He's got that intelligent humor where you got to like stay on your toes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, because we end up we close doors. I mean, we close doors. We're closing the doors when we're in the business of opening doors. That's what we're in the business of doing. We're in the business of expanding and opening doors, as opposed to closing doors, which is close the door, and that's separation. Obviously,
Yeah, totally.
You can't get on the other side of the door.
But and as well as it's about seeing the perfection in your shitty days and going, this is perfect in its design, and this is, and by me sharing this, by me expressing this, I'm going to help someone else as well as myself.
Yes, that's vital. That second part's vital. Yeah, do it. Do it because who wrote? Who was it? Karen Starr wrote a post a couple of days ago, and she said, thank you for reading my stuff and supporting me, but I do this for me. I do this for me. I share it for me, right? It's for me, and that you resonate with it is the icing on the cake. But so what are you going to do with this? What is your vision? I mean, I know we've talked about this before, but did it change at all? Has it changed at all? I mean, what did you submit to? This gentleman who.
Yeah, so what I'm doing, or what I'm in the middle of creating now is so my coaching that I do, my sort of intuitive coaching, I'm in the process of creating like an online course with video so that everybody can just log in and access it whenever, wherever they want, rather than me having to be physically present for every time. So I'm doing that, but I'm going to bring out another children's book in after Christmas as well, and I want to create and this only actually came through to me really strongly during the interview. I want to really create a program for like primary schools and like kindergarten sort of age, where I can really plant the seed of divinity and plant the seed of self-awareness and self-love very, very, very young, before life crushes the magic out of kids. So I really want them to really see their own magic and know themselves as divinity before life gets tough. So that's a big one, a big one for me. So I'm going to take my superhero cape on tour around every primary school that I can find, and I want to actually pitch it to somebody to get it on the not even the national curriculum, the global curriculum for kindergarten schools of like, you are awesome and don't let anybody ever tell you anything any different. Because what a magical world would that be if kids grew up knowing that they were superheroes, right? Like actually not thinking they were or wishing they were, but knowing they are. Like, what magic would be open up for the future generations?
Yeah.
So
it's telling them yes and telling them yes instead of telling them no, and telling them that they can instead of they can't, because like we talked about earlier, that's really where the deal's made. You make it or break it right there. I can. This can happen. I can't. This can't happen, or whatever. I think that's I think there's no doubt somebody's going to pick you up, and there's some bodies are going to pick you up in your initiative and support that, expand that. This energy supporting initiatives like that. So there's no doubt you're well on your way. And I think that's another thing we all might need to remember. And I'm speaking to myself first, always. And that is, and I have received this a few times just in my own personal communion, which is not just applying to me, but others, was that so much of what we, in this conscious present moment, what we think we need to do or want to do or whatever the case is, we've actually already done it. We've energetically created it. So the manifestation of it is a given. It's given. It's a done.
Yeah. All realities exist. Yeah. All realities exist simultaneously on a big ass record of reality, and it's just about where do you want to drop the needle right now? Because wherever you drop your needle is what you're going to experience.
Yeah,
it's all there to play, and it's just where you choose to drop your needle.
Yeah, we've done a lot of work. A lot of people have done a lot of work, and it's not for naught. And and one thing that you are seeing that you didn't see a lot of, you didn't see it in 2018 a lot, and certainly not 2017, 2016. I got into these circles around 2014, but and that is you're seeing that reciprocity from the universe. You're seeing, like in your case, you had the thought, and boom, there it
Yeah.
is. Uh, and of course, the big emphasis there was you went from whatever it was, I can't because of this, or I can't because of that, and said, I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah.
doing it.
The fear was holding me back. Can I feed my kids? Can I this? Can I, like, do I even deserve to have this life where I'm doing, like, getting a living from doing what I love rather than doing what is hard or soul crushing? And then I said, yes, I do. I back myself. I trust myself, and yes, I do. And the universe answered, like, really, really answered me.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. And I think we're gonna see more of that. We're gonna see more of that.
Mhm.
And again, because there's not a way, because we're making the way, like you made the way. You
Yeah.
created a path, you made a way, and now it's available.
Mhm.
See, that's where I get my biggest kicks, I guess, my biggest downloads, transmissions, whatever, come from people, you know, not
Yeah.
from up there. Not taking anything from that, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
to me, I see it, and it's like, yeah, go, 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 because if she's doing it, someone else is going to do it. That magic is spreading, no
Mhm.
doubt,
But there's
no doubt.
never underestimate the fact that you're actually blazing your own trail. So it's not you looking at us going, yeah, I want some of that, bring it in. You have given us all permission to find our magic by you were here on the ground long before I was. So never underestimate the fact that you're leading the charge from the front.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously though,
I just
because
thought of
you
some. I thought
there's
it's. I just thought of something funny. Yeah. I can relate. I can accept that. But at the same time, I feel like my ass is hanging out at the end of the line.
why do we always end up talking about your ass no matter what the topic? Always comes back
I
to
don't
Todd's
know.
ass.
I haven't. I know. There's not much there, according to Morgan. She says it's just two sticks, legs or sticks, and yeah. So it's a good it's good that we talked. It's good that we talked. It's been and it was better today than it would have been the other day.
Yeah, I think we
I,
were
I
both
was
too
yeah,
raw.
but the thing is, yeah, because you're helping me, you're helping other people,
Mm.
and that's what we're here to do.
I
So
think it's nice. It's nice too to be
so
able to
I'm
share with people who love her, will always love her, and know her. Like it's nice to draw. She's drawn us together. She's drawn us
yeah,
together.
I believe that absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's why it's so weird. Some of these synchronicities, right? So it's like, okay, so first we went over there. We stayed 2 weeks. We're gonna stay 3 days. We stay 2 weeks, which we don't know. We would not normally do something like that, just out of respect and our own privacy. But it was so cool. It was so chill.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so then I get a phone call last night from a friend who saw the last broadcast that Sherilyn and I did. So she bought some cards, and her cards uh, were, I guess, at home when you're going to ship something out from UPS, you can print out the label and it shows that the label's been printed or whatever.
Yeah.
But she never got the package because the label was printed on Friday night, before Sherilyn went out.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get another one that somebody had gotten their set of cards, and it was the last one she sent out. So I'm thinking, I'm looking at all this, and I'm going, wow, that's like 11/11/55. It's all these synchronicities, and that's the thought that I had, or that came with it, was souls like that it may not look like it on the surface, but pulling people together, which is
Big time.
what I'm all about. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's the way to go.
And
So
she set
and
me down a big challenge actually. that I'll speak to you at another time. I don't feel like this is the right place or time maybe to say it, but
Yeah.
she set me a big ass challenge, and I'm going to need all of her tribe to pull with me to help. But she's really, really, really set it down for me, and I'm like, okay, sister, I hear you. Let's try and make it happen.
That's interesting you say that, because when I told you what happened that night and I walked out to the back porch and I connected with her, and it happened very quickly. It was very easy. But she kind of did the same thing. She said
I
to
wonder,
me,
was it the same thing? Because she did actually tell me to reach out to you, so I wonder, was it the same thing?
well, I'd still have to pull more of it in because it's a little bit fuzzy, but in a general way, the conversation was kind of like, all the stuff that you were talking about, uh, you know, do it. And so I'm like, okay, the next day I got a phone call from a pivotal person involved in that dynamic, and the first thing he brought up was her. He didn't know her, but he had met her at the soul gathering. They did a little freestyle when she did her poem. He was on one of the instruments. But anyway, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I love spending time with you. We all do, and thank you for everything that you do, and for the example that you set, and for making everybody cry. And when you read that to me, uh, but but yeah, I look forward to, let's get together again in a few weeks and
Yeah, for sure.
let's see where we're at. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm really happy for you, and I'm happy for your family. I really am. And I don't believe in the word hope. I never have. But it sure is nice to see people succeeding in these energies and overcoming things. And I don't know anyone who's done it better than you, to be honest with you. So
Well,
peace out.
brother, everywhere I go, you're coming with me, so energetically.
Well, I got you. Peace out. Take care. Best to you
You
and
too.
yours.